They are beautiful, intelligent, resilient and social. They live and die for their pack. They are incredible predators, possessing amazing stamina and strategy. They have high biodiversity value and play a critical ecological role. They are one of the world's most threatened species, and I've dedicated my life to saving them. My name is Carl Du Plessis. I work for the Endangered Wildlife Trust, and I coordinate the African Wild Dog Range Expansion Project. African wild dogs have disappeared from 25 of the 39 countries that they once roamed, making them Africa's second most endangered carnivore. There are currently only an estimated 6,600 individuals left. While snaring, persecution, and disease are some of the well-known threats, it's a lack of safe space to wander that has ultimately taken the heaviest toll on the species. And prospects are not looking good, as human populations expand relentlessly, eating further into their space. By creating an African wild dog feasibility assessment, we are able to identify and rank potential sites that are suitable for reintroduction in Southern Africa. This assessment includes the size of the protected area, the prey densities, predator numbers, disease history, and partner buy-in. When undertaking a cross-border relocation, we start with the capture process at first light. The African wild dogs at this stage are contained in a temporary holding facility that we like to call their waiting lounge. Once all the pack members are mobilized, we would transfer them to specialized crates and drive them to a nearby airport. While still in a sedated state, we would then load them onto a plane and take off shortly after. When I flew into Gorongosa National Park for the very first time, seeing it from the air told me everything I needed to know. It looked like an African wild dog paradise. We worked very closely with the Gorongosa team. In Portuguese, you call wild dog mabeco.
Yeah, mabeco.
Mabeco. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He's the alpha male.
So we'll take that collar off.
Okay.
The pack were temporarily contained and closely monitored for several weeks, allowing time for them to settle and acclimatize to the new environment before being released into their new home. We opted to introduce larger packs comprising of 14 and 15 individuals to create some resilience. Introducing African wild dogs that are genetically distinct from one another allows the population to naturally grow, but also promotes an increase in genetic diversity. Good genetics promotes better immunity, health, and condition. Since their release, they have just blossomed. In 2017 and decades before, there were no African wild dogs in Gorongosa. 3 years later, and the population is 90 strong. The Endangered Wildlife Trust have collaborated with the Gorongosa Project, African Parks, Peace Parks, and other partners to work together to expand safe space for African wild dogs in Africa. We have now identified 13 protected areas across Africa that meet these initial feasibility requirements. Cumulatively, these reserves account for over 3 million hectares of safe space into which African wild dogs can be reintroduced. It is a critical moment for African wild dog conservation. We have experience, knowledge, and skills gained to execute the on-the-ground work needed to save the species. But we cannot do this without funding. There are large costs incurred, These include site assessments, veterinary work, vaccinations, monitoring costs, relocations, and temporary holding. This African wild dog restoration work is a first of its kind and is gaining momentum with national conservation partners and governments. With working methodology and a strong genetically sound African wild dog population in South Africa and now in Mozambique, we are looking to scale up this critical conservation work across the continent. The success and failures in our conservation efforts don't just affect conservationists, but humanity as a whole. We need to reintegrate nature into our DNA and undertake restoration efforts to repair the damage rather than just preserve what is left. There's a rare and exciting opportunity to restore the African wild dog populations of the past and make a significant conservation impact in saving the species. But we need to act now.